Alright, Giants fans, so we got a we got a preview video that I'm not even sure if I should be doing. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New York Football Giants, Monday Night Football here in Week 8. And y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all already know why it's like should I even be doing a preview and whatnot. The difference between these teams is immense. It's tremendous how much on opposite sides of the spectrum these teams are. You know what I'm saying? The Bucks, they're Super Bowl contenders. They're top of the league. They're one of the best teams in the NFL right now. They're in kind of a league of their own. The Giants, not so much. They're more so at the bottom of the league. They're in contention for one of the top 5 picks. They're a team that's trying to improve but is failing to do so. They're a team with a lot of struggles right now, and given the recent COVID news, the struggles are continuing and increasing right now. So, you know what, let's just hop off from that. Let's use that as a springboard to talk about the injury report. And we have an extensive one. Offensive tackle Cam Fleming, non-injury related, did not practice on Thursday. That was because he was one of the 8 players that had to leave the facility after Will Hernandez tested positive for COVID. Devontae Freeman, running back, ankle injury, did not participate on Thursday. We're still not sure exactly what happened with Freeman. It seemed to be during the Eagles game. He may have rolled his ankle or something. He didn't go back in since. Nick Gates, guard, non-injury related, did not practice on Thursday. Same thing as Cam Fleming, one of the 8 players. Will Hernandez, guard, he's on the COVID-19 list, did not practice. I don't expect him to play in a game for like maybe the next 3 or 4 weeks because he's going to be in recovery, if for the rest of the season at all. Shane Lemieux, offensive lineman, non-related injury, did not practice. One of the 8 offensive linemen, or one of the 8 players I should say, that was sent home. Spencer Pulley, center, non-injury related, did not practice. Same there. Andrew Thomas, tackle, non-injury related, did not practice. Same there. CJ Board, wide receiver, he's still in concussion protocol. He was in limited practice. I don't think he's going to play this game. If anything, I think Board makes his return either at the Eagles or at Washington, who I believe is the team we play after the Eagles. Adrian Colbert, defensive back, shoulder injury, limited practice. Darnay Holmes, cornerback, neck injury, limited practice. Sterling Shepard, wide receiver, shoulder/toe injury, limited practice. So the 2 names that surprised me here are the bottom 2, Darnay Holmes and Sterling Shepard. I thought Holmes would have been cleared. In terms of cleared, I mean like all systems are a go, not really any hindering problems, because he was, correct me if I'm wrong, he was out there on the field in limited, snaps against the Eagles, or at the very least he was in uniform on the sideline. Holmes has been missing, I want to say, for maybe 2-3 weeks now with some type of injury. I'm presuming it's neck for all 3 weeks. This week it's a neck injury. I'm not sure when he's going to make his return. Then with Sterling Shepard, he was extensively used. I think more than anybody thought he would be in that Eagles game, and he was pretty effective when the ball was thrown his way as well. I didn't realize he either re-aggravated or something, or did something to be in limited practice here on Thursday. Now, there's 8 players on this list that may or may not play on Monday, and I hope if they're cleared that they do play. We need Andrew Thomas. We need a starting tackle. We need Nick Gates because he's currently our best option at center, which is kind of sad. We need Shane Lemieux because he's going to be the person to fill in for Will Hernandez, because no matter how healthy Hernandez is, he's not coming back in. I would hope we get back Devontae Freeman. I really think him and Gallman would make a great running back duo. Cameron Fleming, I would hope we get back, but not to start, but for depth. I hope this offers the Giants an opportunity to start Matt Peart instead of Cam Fleming. Us Giants fans, we've been begging for this for weeks now. Put Matt Peart in. It's a little overdue. You've been putting him in limited snaps. Just put him in there to start. All right, we just get him out there, have the offensive line gel. And if he is out there, I think this is going to be kind of unprecedented. We're going to have 3 rookie O-linemen in Thomas, Lemieux, and Peart. But that's that on the Giants side. On the Tampa Bay Buccaneers side, less extensive, but a little bit, I guess you could say, a more impactful injury report. Chris Godwin, wide receiver with an injured finger, did not practice on Thursday. Rob Gronkowski, tight end, shoulder injury, limited practice. Scotty Miller, wide receiver, hip injury, limited practice. Jason Pierre-Paul, an old Giant there. Outside linebacker, knee injury, limited practice. Antoine Winfield Jr., safety, shoulder, groin injury, limited practice. And Antoine is indeed a rookie. I would have loved to have McKinney back by now. I don't think he's going to be back until week 10. That would have been a nice, you know, rookie safety versus rookie safety matchup, seeing who would have had the better game. And I kind of find it funny that JPP is listed as outside linebacker because we let him go because we thought he wouldn't be able to play outside linebacker, and he seems just fine in Tampa Bay. And you know what? Speaking of which, this game, guys, what am I expecting from this game? I don't know. This Buccaneers team is probably the toughest we've faced all season, and that's saying something when you talk about the Rams, who were a very tough opponent at the time that we faced them. You talk about the 49ers, not in terms of their talent, but the way they absolutely mollywopped us was a tough opponent. And the Steelers, who I think are still the only undefeated team in the league, week 1. You know what? They're probably the toughest opponent we've faced so far. And then now we're coming up against Tampa Bay. The reason I say that is because Tampa Bay is the #1 offense in the league. Like, by far, Tampa Bay is the #1 offense in the league. And then you got the Giants, who are all the way down at 29. Tampa Bay, the 6th overall passing offense in the league. You got the Giants all the way down at 28. Tampa Bay, the 17th overall rushing offense, which is kind of surprising because they have a pretty, you know, they got a pretty stacked running back core there. You know, you talk about guys like, they got Ronald Jones starting, backed up by LaShawn McCoy, and then LaShawn McCoy is backed up by Leonard Fournette. That's kind of stacked. But they're 17th overall rushing, and then you got the Giants all the way down at 23rd. You talk about the defensive side of things, Tampa Bay, they got a great defense as well. And I think this is the one thing that surprised a lot of people. At least it surprised me. We all expected Tampa Bay to be rolling and firing in all cylinders on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, when you got guys like Brady, who literally seems like we need to test this man for PEDs because he's better this year than he was last year. I'm not sure if it's just a shift in offensive scheme that's making him play better, making him look better. If it's a shift that he does have more weapons now. That is just a fact. He has a lot more weapons at his disposal now than he did in his last 2 years in New England. When you got guys like Mike Evans that you're throwing through, when you got guys like Chris Godwin, you got guys like Gronk, who seems to also, you know, y'all need to test him for PEDs because he took like a year and a half off. He comes back and he's looking almost like prime Rob Gronkowski. It's kind of crazy. These guys are so, you know, they're either old in Brady or they're already so banged up in Gronk. It makes no sense. It's amazing what they're doing at this point in their careers. You know what I'm saying? But he got extensive weapons, a nice running game, a better than expected offensive line. The offense is rolling with Bruce Arians there at the helm. I don't think it's a surprise that the passing offense is doing so good. It's not a surprise that there's such a high octane offense at all. What is a surprise is the defense, because for the most part, this is the same defense from last year. You still got guys like Shaq Barrett who broke out last year, I will say that. So their pass rush, nobody's surprised by that. In fact, they're second in the league in sacks, right behind Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh leads the league with 26 sacks. Tampa Bay is right behind them with 25. I mean, Shaq Barrett, I think, is consistent, and he's definitely building his name as a top 15, top 10 pass rusher, but he's not the only person that's getting them all those sacks. In fact, it's the old Giant, Jason Pierre-Paul, who's leading the team in sacks with 5.5. Devin White is second. Their middle linebacker, who everybody knew Devin White was a stud. I think he was taken in, was it the 2018 or 2019 draft? And he's performing like that with 4 sacks. And then Shaq Barrett is all out there with 3, followed by Ndamukong Suh also with 3. Antoine Winfield, the rookie safety, with 2. Jordan Whitehead, 2. William Golston, 2. Vita Vea, 2 as well. Levante David, their other middle linebacker, who I have up here. You know, and I will say this. Tampa Bay probably has the best middle linebacker duo in the league with Devin White and Levante David. They seem unstoppable. He also has 1.5. Their defense is just 100% just surprising everybody with how much they're producing this year. And I don't know why, because for the most part, it's the same pieces that were there before. So like I was saying, they got the 8th overall defense. The Giants are all the way down at the 20th. In terms of passing defense, they are 17th overall. The Giants are all the way down at 24th. In terms of rushing defense, they are 2nd overall. The Giants are all the way down at 13th. And you can see where this is going to pose a lot of problems, especially with that rushing one. Our rushing game is trash. It's like it's finding its footing. We're going up against the #2. Rushing defense is going to be tough. Our passing offense is and I think I might have said a rushing defense for the Giants. My mistake. I meant a rushing offense. Our passing offense, it's you know, honestly, it's And with the wide receivers and weapons we have, and like everybody dropping like flies, this is gonna struggle here. which is why the Giants defense is seeing such a struggle right now in terms of rankings and statistics. The defense, I still believe, is better than what, you know, the stats say, but there's a reason that we are ranked where we're ranked, and that is because of injuries. That's the main answer, right? Every single week, it seems like our team in general, not just the defense, gets more injured as it go on. And Patrick Graham could only work so much magic to keep it up and keep the defense rolling as it is. It's expected, you know what I'm saying? And he's doing a great job, and I give him credit because I do think it's better than what's listed. But you can't keep them up there forever. It's going to drop off at some point, along with the fact that teams are going to start to figure out just a little bit of how it operates. So there's that for that big drop off, especially when you talk about at one point we were the 2nd overall pass defense. Now we're all the way down at 24th. Me, you know what I'm saying? I know, and you know, that's mostly because of injuries, because we still got Blake Martinez and James Bradbury back there, who are a couple of the best players at their position. That's not saying much when you got the Bucks, who have like basically all the best players at their position on this team right here. It's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be really hard. I mean, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that, you know, you got cornerbacks back there that used to be roasted and toasted that are doing better this year all of a sudden. And then you look at the pass rush and you kind of figure out why. When you have that much of a potent pass rush, it will cover up an average secondary, which is what the Bucks have, in my opinion. They got an average secondary with one standout player in Levante David, and Antoine Winfield. Maybe you could argue Carlton Davis, who's kind of having a career year, but I think he's being tremendously helped out by the pass rush and then the middle linebacking core as well. If there's any solace in this game, if there's any light of hope, any one little ray of sunshine that us as Giants fans can look forward to, it's the fact that the Bucks are kind of injured offensively. I listed out the injury report. They're probably going to be missing Chris Godwin this game. Rob Gronkowski, I was surprised he's going to be a little bit nicked up. I think he's going to be fine though. And for some reason, Mike Evans isn't having the best of years right now. A lot of people, that's another thing we're trying to figure out as NFL fans. What's up with Mike Evans? I personally think that he's just adjusting to Tom Brady and whatnot. That might take a while because I still think he's one of the best receivers in the league. And listen, if anything, the Giants make players look better than what they are when they play us. So Mike Evans is probably going to look like his normal stuff against the Giants. Maybe this is what people are going to label, oh, the game that Evans, you know, got his groove in, the comeback game, the breakout game in 2020 for Mike Evans. I don't know. But I fully expect him to have a good time against the Giants here. Because while he's going to be lined up against James Bradbury, they know each other well, right? And I expect James Bradbury to lock up Evans a couple of times, but he's not going to win all the battles, and they're going to switch him around. They're going to move Mike Evans around, so he's going to be lined up against Ryan Lewis, who, of course, he's going to completely obliterate, and whoever we have in the slot, who, of course, he's going to completely obliterate. When he's going to be lined up against Bradbury, though, that's going to be a nice battle. They know each other, though, so Evans will know how to, I don't know, beat him, I guess you could say. We'll know how to get into his head and whatnot. So there's that to look forward to. But we're going to need all the offensive line help we can get. And even if Will Hernandez didn't even get, you know, test positive and whatnot, even if we're rolling in with our regular offensive line, I would still be worried. This is going to be a really rough game for our offense. It's going to be a super rough game for Daniel Jones. He's going to get sacked a lot. I mean, we remember that Tampa Bay game last year. And yes, we remember with fond memories because, you know, that was DJ's first win, the comeback win. It was the thing that put the league on notice of Daniel Jones. One thing that gets swept under the rug is I think he was sacked like 5 times that game. Don't be surprised if that's repeated this time, or maybe if it even increases. Maybe he sacked 6-7 times this game. I don't know. But with the way our offensive line is performing, they don't have my confidence. And if they want to do anything, protect him and prevent more than 3 sacks this game, and they will gain back my confidence. That's just me. But the offensive line has to protect DJ, and they have to open up running lanes. I just don't have the confidence that they will do so. And I'm sorry if I sound so much like a Debbie Downer this video. But of course, I'm going to have the Bucks winning here. I don't really have a score prediction. What I want to see from this game, though, what I really want to see, and I've been begging for it all season, is just progression. It's going to be hard for me to see that in the offensive line with the current situation. But like I said, if they can just at most allow 3 sacks, I'm good. I am good. And if they could allow the running back group as a whole to get 100 yards on the ground, I'm good. I am good. That is what I'm asking for. Wide receivers, please don't drop the ball and please get open. Run your routes properly. I can't believe I'm asking for this because this is like fundamental stuff that should happen, but it's what I'm asking for. So that's it for now. Let me know what you guys think. Put your thoughts down below. Not much of a preview video, more so as I just guess me spilling my thoughts on the game, but put it out there and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one.